KREM 2 News 10 at 10 begins now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us tonight for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Cody Proctor. Let's get started tonight with a look at your forecast. Mother Nature put the freeze on our roads, prompting a weather impact alert tonight. KREM 2's Nicole Hernandez starts us off this hour with a look at your weekend forecast.
Yeah, Cody, we do have that weather impact alert for not just today, but for all of tomorrow, because specifically those slippery, dangerous road conditions. We not only have the slippery roads that we've been seeing for the past few days because of some of the freezing fog, but now tomorrow we have the chance for freezing rain as well. Because of that, the National Weather Service has put in some winter weather advisories for the bulk of eastern Washington and North Idaho, as well as some winter storm warnings for parts of Montana. That's because of some of the snow that's going to end up landing and falling in our mountain areas. But this freezing rain is something to talk about for tomorrow because it is going to be dangerous on the roads. It is beautiful out though. The reason it's going to be so dangerous and slippery is because it's cold. We're at 30 degrees right now. We have been below freezing for some time now, and we're not going to get above freezing until tomorrow afternoon, which is why we have that chance for the freezing rain. Across the region, 30 is the warmest you get, except in Lewiston, I guess, and Moscow. Down in the Palouse, you guys are a little bit warmer, but a lot of places are still already in the 20s and just going to get colder from here. So we'll continue talking about these cold temperatures and the slick roads coming up.
Nicole, thank you so much. Well, tonight, hundreds more Boeing employees are now out of a job tonight. Over 200 Boeing engineers and technical workers received layoff notices this week. That's according to the union representing them. The union says this is on top of the layoffs last month. Boeing's in the process of cutting 10% of its workforce, which comes out to around 17,000 people. In other news tonight, whooping cough continues to spread in Whitman County tonight. According to new numbers from the Whitman County Public Health, there are now 77 cases of whooping cough. One of the latest comes from a Whitman County K-12 school. Officials didn't specify which school it was, but parents have been notified. Health experts now attribute the rise in cases with a decrease in vaccination rates. Also new tonight, everyone's safe after a bus carrying more than 30 students crashed along Highway 54 near Athol tonight. According to Idaho State Police, that school bus failed to yield to traffic, hitting a car before crashing into a power pole. One student cut their lip. No other injuries were reported. A new development in Idaho's battle over abortion. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled the Gem State can enforce most, but not all, of its abortion trafficking law against those who take a minor out of state to get an abortion without permission from their parents. KREM 2's Connor McAvoy spoke with an Idaho attorney to hear their perspective on that ruling. Connor?
This is a first-in-the-nation law. Supporters call it an abortion trafficking ban, while its opponents say it violates the First Amendment. And other than one specific component of the law, it will stay in effect while appeals courts consider its constitutionality. The Ninth U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals blocked part of the law that would prohibit people from recruiting a minor to get an abortion. According to the court's ruling, that means things like encouragement counseling and emotional support, even if it's part of a process of whether to have an abortion, is legal. North Idaho criminal attorney Scott Sargent says the court's decision came down to free speech. While the recruiting portion of the law will not be enforced, the court ruled it's the only part of the law that is protected by the First Amendment.
However, the court sectioned out the two other actions. So the court sectioned out harboring or transporting individuals to obtain these abortions out of state. And the court did that specifically because harboring someone or transporting them, that's not a speech activity.
But Sargent says the decision regarding speech can create issues.
Recruiting could be an attorney providing legal advice. Because that definition is so broad, there's a lot of free speech that fits into that definition.
Anyone convicted will face 2 to 5 years in prison, as well as potentially being sued by the minor's parent or guardian. Connor McAvoy, KREM 2 News.
Connor, thank you so much. Let's go now to Night Beat for a quick look at the day's top stories. The city of Spokane's leadership continues to fight budgetary shortfalls, and community policing program known as COPS may be on the chopping block. City Council members Jonathan Bingle and Michael Cathcart says COPS, short for Community-Oriented Policing Services, is not only vital to help the city's law enforcement, but it saves them money. Right now, Mayor Lisa Brown's budget proposal still offers $450,000 COPS was always allotted. The only change, COPS would have to bid for it among other organizations.
Just having a cop shop in your neighborhood increases the perception of safety. And it frankly increases the reality of safety.
However, Mayor Brown says she's not seen proof of COPS success. In a written statement today, Brown stated the group's administration still hasn't handed over the right financial records to show how they're using city funds. The popular downtown Spokane store Boo Radley's is back open after an apartment fire above them caused their storefront to be flooded earlier this week. A fire took place Wednesday night, displacing more than 60 people. Spokane Fire Department says the sprinkler system did its job. It led to major flooding, including Boo Radley's, O'Doherty's Irish Grill, and Petunia and Loomis.
Now is our busiest time of the year, so losing even just about a day and a half was a really big hit for us. So having people be like, we want to support you, let us know when we're open, was huge for us.
Petunia and Loomis also reopened today. O'Doherty's plans to update their Instagram when they're ready to reopen. And new pictures tonight of a fire truck which rolled over in Bonner County. Take a look at this right here. According to officials, 2 Selkirk firefighters were responding to a crash when the engine left the road and rolled over, destroying the truck. The fire engine suffered major damage. The firefighters on board at the time of the crash were taken to a hospital. They've since been released and will be back at work after recovering. Selkirk Fire and Rescue says the incident remains under investigation. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just head to our website, KREM.com. Well, new within the last few hours, New York City police believe they found the backpack of the shooter accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson earlier this week. That backpack was found in Central Park. Officials believe the suspected gunman is not in New York tonight. Instead, they believe he got on a bus to Atlanta.
There's lots of time left. This is by no means in any way cold, this trail. This is a hot trail.
NYPD officers have more than 200 images of the person they want to question. Meanwhile, the FBI is asking the Atlanta Police Department for help, along with more than 80 other police departments nationwide tonight. Now, in the wake of this shooting, new data shows Americans are increasingly upset over their medical bills creeping up and their claims being denied. Recent polling shows the #1 cause of bankruptcy in this country is healthcare-related expenses. They're also top of mind after rent, groceries, and transportation costs. In the past year, 1/4 of American adults have either skipped or postponed healthcare because of the price tag. CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder says she's seeing more claims being denied.
What we're also seeing now is increasing use of AI by the insurance companies to deny claims, and then you have competing AIs being developed by healthcare systems to fight the health insurance AIs. If you are finding your claims to be denied, first of all, you should collect all of the paperwork you can to make your case. Review very carefully the statements that are sent to you, what the issues are, see what your doctor can do to start in terms of filing an appeal. And then there are state insurance commissions that regulate insurance that you can also appeal to.
Officials say the best way to get action on medical costs is for Congress to act to put more protections in place for Americans. And that was KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time.